Hey everybody, I'm going to be finishing up pulling the 16 valve out of the GTI today. I got to pull the front cross member and the rear engine bracket, the exhaust. I'm going to be pulling the intake manifold, getting it all hooked up to the hoist and dragging it out of there today. So let's get right to it. Next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking off the radiator support and the front cross member here. Normally, if the transmission was in here, you'd have to either take this bolt off or take these two out that hold the starter in there. But I've already done that, so I don't have to worry about that with this. And I already have this engine support bar. It braces up the engine and holds the engine without the transmission in there. Especially since on these Mark IIs, the transmission is actually equates for 2 out of the 3 mounts, with one being there and then this one here. You know, the bolts for the starter go through this one and hold it to the engine. So without the transmission in there right now, normally this only has one dedicated engine mount that's on the back, and it'd be tilting to the side a lot, tweaking all your mounts and bending everything. So yeah, these are a great investment if you're going to be having the transmission out or a motor mount out or something where the engine would be tilting to the side. Usually these are really great. I got this one at Harbor Freight. I think it's like 120 bucks or something like that. But for the lower cross member, lower support is a 13 on either side in the middle. And then I believe the radiator support is a 17 on either side. Okay, come on. What are we cutting on here? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and then there's just I believe it's a 17, yep, on either side for the radiator cross member support. Jeez. So got a couple things here. I got the engine hoist all set in place. I did take off the intake manifold, and I also hooked up the plate for the engine stand. I took off the engine manifold so that it would give me better access to get this chain hooked up so that I could pull the motor. It just would have been in the way. I didn't want to scratch it or damage it. I also disconnected the 3 bolts for the exhaust down here. There's 1 on the top and then 2 on the bottom. That just is kind of a monotonous, slow thing. So I just went ahead and did that stuff. The last thing left that I have to do to disconnect and free the motor are these 3 bolts right down there. Those are the rear motor mount bolts. I have 3 bolts there. I'm using the older style motor mount bracket because I have a polyurethane insert. The hydraulic ones that they come with are really prone to blowing, and I kept destroying them, so I converted mine to the older style and then put a poly insert in there. It doesn't move at all now. So yeah, I just got to take off those 3 bolts there, and then it will just be a matter of kind of finagling the exhaust out through here and just dragging it out the front. So I've got the jack here supporting the bottom of the engine with a block of wood so I don't damage the oil pan. I have that there to support it so that I can take off this engine support brace here, because right now that's holding the whole left side of the motor. So now that I have the jack here supporting it, I can loosen this to get this thing out of the way so I can pull the motor. Of course, this is a long ass bolt. This. Okay. Okay. Now I just got to take off these 3 bolts here, these last 3 motor mount bolts. Alright. Come on. Making a real mess here. What are we stuck on? This is making a real mess here. I didn't anticipate oil coming out of the holes for the pressure plate. And obviously this is challenging doing it by yourself. Never easy trying to finagle this. I've usually pulled them like this, but the factory downpipes aren't quite as long as this one, so this is definitely causing a little bit of an issue. The fact that this one's so much longer than the factory downpipe. Why is it so hot? Like, does it need to come down more? Well, this thing could not have made a bigger mess. Trying to do this by yourself is not easy. I should have taken off those downpipes. That would have made this a hell of a lot easier. If you ever do this and you have this same header that's this long, take off the fucking header because it's way easier. Come on. Come on. Christ almighty. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. Well, motor's out, but I got a big fucking mess to clean up. So I did get the engine pulled yesterday. Didn't exactly go like I had planned. The downpipe being a lot longer than the factory one really caused a lot of problems for me. Getting caught in the heat shield, getting caught underneath the car, the O2 sensor was getting caught up on the sway bar. Trying to do it myself with no help and kind of finagle it, the way it was coming out just did not work like I had expected or like I wanted it to. The oil was pouring out of one of the pressure plate holes out of the engine, making a big mess. Put down an oil catch container that spilled over on the jack and made a humongous mess. I tried to bend back the heat shield, cut my finger. It was pretty frustrating. It was one of those moments where you just got to walk away. So I just walked away from it yesterday, left it be, and made a real mess that I have to clean up now today. So here's kind of what we're looking at here. You can see the oil container that tipped over. It spilled oil all underneath the car. It ended up going all the way to my garage door. So, I mean, it just made a catastrophic mess that I now have to clean up. Yeah, pretty frustrating, but it's just the way it goes sometimes, especially doing this stuff by yourself. So, yeah, if you guys have a header that's this long in the future, I highly suggest you pull it. I should have. But you live and you learn. The engine's pulled now. So it'll just be a matter of cleaning up this mess, and then I'll get it on the stand and keep making progress. So that'll be all for this video, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like, follow, and comment. Peace.